Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's the King of 161st Street. First of all, before we get into this, if my voice is a little off today, just know allergies are a motherfucker. So I apologize, but we got a lot to talk about because, man, was my Friday episode poorly timed. So if you're new here, hit that sub button. Like the video if you enjoy. Comment your thoughts on the Baltimore series. And let's get into it. So, game one. Seemed as though as it was an aberration. We got runners on base. Couldn't get them in. Pitching was really good. And then it ended on a controversial pitch, which I did think was a ball. But, again, I didn't look at that game too much. Because I am more focused on 2 and 3. I really didn't take much stock in game one. So, we're going to move on. Stanton in that game, though, in the first game, did go 3 for 5. Still doing work. But, game 2, the Yankees start off behind. Cedric Mullins hits a moonshot. And things are not looking good in Yankee land. There was a delay at the top of the 5th, and even during the delay, I was saying to myself, man, if this game gets called, that's actually good for us because it wasn't halfway through the game until the bottom of the 5th. So that means they would have had to restart the game. I was like, you know what? Perfect. We'll get that, and we'll play them in a doubleheader and win. The game gets restarted, and the bats woke up. And I mean woke up. They were firing on all cylinders after that delay. So, again, Jose Trevino had a good game. He batted 2 for 3 with a walk. And I will continue to beat on this drum until someone finally listens. Jose Trevino should be the Yankees starter. I don't want to hear Higgy calls a good game. I'm done with that. You know, he's still a liability. He had 1 hit yesterday. And it's his first hit since the opening series. Enough of this shit. Jose Trevino is actually hitting. And he's not that far off in terms of defense. Like I said in previous videos, top 99th percentile in framing. And he is a way better defender than Gary. So we can't even use the defense as a whole as the reason we're keeping Higgy in. There's no reason other than for Cole days, because Cole, I'm still not too thrilled that Cole wants his own catcher. But I understand why the Yankees give it to him, because we paid him a lot of money. Let's give him what he wants so that he's more comfortable out there. I get Higgy playing cold days. But Jose Trevino showed that he calls a good game as well. Him and the pitchers are on the same page. Tyone even said, I was surprised at how well we were on the same page since we only had 1 spring training game. Trevino is a good catcher. And he deserves to be the starter of this team. But not going to go down that tangent much longer. So, second game comes. It looks like we're back to being on track. It looks like, okay, it was 1 hiccup. And then Sunday comes, and I knew it was going to be a struggle for the Yankees to score, just based off of how the weather was in the East Coast of America. It was like, I went to the Mets game that day. I went to the Mets game yesterday. And so I saw firsthand in New York how tough it was to hit. And they kept bringing up wind blowing in. It's very cold in Baltimore. It seemed as though the whole northeast to the whole East Coast, really, other than Southeast, because, you know, they never get bad weather. The whole East Coast area seemed to struggle with frigid weather And so I knew the Yankees were going to struggle to score. So I sort of expected the outcome up to the 8th inning. This is where I have my issue. Aaron Boone, to this point, has shown that he was getting better. He was showing he was getting better with managing the bullpen. He was getting better with knowing when it's not their day and pulling the pitcher when necessary. Yesterday's example was utter garbage. So here's what happens, the breakdown. So Loaisiga has to pick it up. If we're going to succeed out of that bullpen, Loaisiga has to be a guy out of the bullpen we can rely on. Last few games, he has been very rocky out of that bullpen. He has been very shaky, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing out of Loaisiga right now. But that's besides the point. So, situation is we have bases loaded. The lefty in Mullins comes up. I think it was Mullins. All I know is that it was a lefty. I'm pretty sure it was Mullins. He's coming up to bat. They have Litke ready in the bullpen. Mind you, there's 2 outs. So, man on third, bases loaded, 2 outs, lefty up, pitcher on the mound that is struggling. That is a righty. So that's a terrible matchup to begin with. And he leaves Loaisiga in. Loaisiga gives up an RBI single. They score. It's 2-0. Now he goes in and takes out Loaisiga when a righty is coming up for the lefty. And then obviously the lefty wins the matchup. And all in all, we lose 5-0. If you're Aaron Boone, what the fuck are you doing? You take Loaisiga out with Mullins coming up. You don't wait. I don't understand this. Sorry, my voice is cracking again. Allergies are a bitch. But I don't understand why he held up in terms of taking out Loaisiga. He was showing early on that he was starting to understand it's not this guy's night. We need to get someone else in. Litke was ready. You saw he stopped warming up because he was ready. And they didn't bring him in. And that ultimately costed us this game because I knew it was going to be tough for us to score. Yes, our offense was very dormant, and I understand that. But I kind of saw that coming, and I think the Yankees management did too. Because, again, so was the Baltimore Orioles offense at that point. The only reason they got those guys on base was because of walks and ground ball base hits. It wasn't like they were smacking the ball. So it was a very dormant hitting day for every team. So that 8th inning really costed us the game based off of Boone's incompetence. And if this is how the season's going to go, then the conversation has to start about Aaron Boone's job security. And I know, after one game, I'm being a typical Yankee fan. Fire the manager because we lost a series to Baltimore. It's just like we've seen this time and time again. He mismanages the bullpen all the time. That's one thing I credit Girardi with a ton, is he was a master with knowing when to go to the bullpen. It's just, I don't understand it. The Yankees should have won this series. It's very disappointing we didn't. But one thing that is on our side that I think fans are not taking into account is teams around our division are not handling bad teams either. I think Tampa lost the series to Oakland, who just cleaned house. You had Boston, who almost blew a 6-run lead in a game against Detroit. And I know Detroit has retooled a little bit. They got young talent, but they're still they're a year or two away. And so this division is not handling teams that they should be beating as well. So we should just understand that and know our season isn't over because of this series. But no, this is a concerning sign in the fact that we thought the times of Aaron Boone not having a great bullpen presence was over. It turns out it is still in full effect. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this breakdown. The Yankees play Detroit next in a 3-game set where Garrett Cole, Luis Severino, and Jameson Taillon are starting. So let's hope we could get some wins and make up for this terrible series and get back on track like I said we were after the Toronto series. Because I truly thought after that split with Toronto that we were clicking. And I guess I was wrong. And I'll take accountability for that. But hopefully we can get back on track. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm out of here. Peace.